circuit analysis or electrical circuit analysis or circuit theory subject. In this class or video, we see superposition step in different model circuit. In this circuit, splitting sources output calculated. Superposition theorem states that the output responses produced by a number of sources simultaneously is simply equal to the sum of the responses produced by each of the sources acting separately. Question: find the value of voltage across 500 ohm resistor in the above circuit using superposition theorem. In this circuit, total sources output is not necessary. Only splitting sources output is calculated. By circuit shown in figure, put 1, 2, 3 sources. 3 sources in this circuit, that is 80 volt 4 milliampere and 16 milliampere. Resistance 500 ohm, 200 ohm, 100 ohm. Where we find out voltage across 500 ohm resistance. That is question. So first we find out V80 and V4 and V16. V80 is where V80 is assume voltage due to 80 voltage sources, and V4 as voltage due to 4 milliampere current source, and V16 is the voltage due to 16 milliampere current source. Let V, that is voltage across the 500 ohm resistor, capital V is V80 plus V4 plus V16. That is V80 plus V4 plus V16 is find out is very important. Case 1, that is voltage sources are short circuited, current sources are open circuited. I already explained. So current source 60 milliampere is open circuited in case 1 shown in circuit. That is consists of 4 milliampere source only and 80 volt source only. First to find out current value I. Small I is V divided by R, 80 divided by 800. 800 is 200 plus 500 plus 100 ohm, so 0.1 ampere. V80 is, we find out formula, V is IR. So I into, first to find out I is 0.1, so 0.1 into R, that is 500, that is 50 volt. V80 is 50 volt answer. And I 500 ohm is I into parallel resistance divided by total resistance. Apply current division rule. So 4 into 10 power minus 3 into R2 is parallel resistance. 200 divided by total resistance. 500 plus 100 plus 200. Apply parallel current division rule. I have spent current division rules in previous classes. Kindly see that classes. From I 500 ohm is 1 milliampere. Kindly note that current division rules apply 4 into 10 power minus 3 into parallel resistance 200 divided by total resistance 500 plus 200 plus 100 plus 200. I 500 is 1 milliampere. For find out V80 I is 0.1. For find out V4, that is voltage due to 4 milliampere source, that is depend on the resistance 500. So that current is 1 into 10 power minus 3. We find out value. I 500 is 1 milliampere. That is 1 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. Current division rules apply. 4 into 10 power minus 3 into 200 divided by 500 plus 100 plus 200. We obtain I 500. Current through the 500 ohm resistance in the first case of circuit 1 into 10 power minus 3. We want voltage across the 500 ohm resistance, voltage across the 800 source, voltage due to 800 source, and voltage due to 4 milliampere source plus voltage due to 16 milliampere source. The total voltage is important for voltage across the 500 ohm resistance. Current division rules explained in previous classes shown in model circuits R1 R2. I1 is find out from R2 opposite parallel resistance into I divided by total resistance. voltage across the 4 milliampere due to 4 milliampere current source is voltage due to 4 milliampere current source V4 is I into R due to current is I 500 current 1 into 10 power minus 3 into 500, that is resistance for more 4 milliampere source. So 1 into 10 power minus into 500 V4 is 0.5 volt, that is voltage due to 4 milliampere current source. Case 2, current sources are open circuited. I already guessed. Second case is 4 milliampere current sources open circuited and 60 milliampere source is present. I 500 ohm first find out applying current divisions rule. Current 60 into 10 per minus the total current I into parallel resistance 100 divided by total resistance 100 plus 200 plus 500, that is series resistance 100 plus 200 plus 500. Apply current divisions rule. I have spent previous classes in this classes current divisions rule. I 500 is find out that the case 2 circuit 2 milliampere. V16 is current voltage due to 60 milliampere current source. V16 is voltage due to 16 milliampere current source. V16 into R is equal to I into R. I is, we find out I 500 ohm is 2 milliampere into, that is resistance is 500. So V16 is minus 1 volt. We obtained V16 is minus 1 volt. Negative sign for opposite directions. Kindly noted. Splitting sources. Splitting source current is calculated is very important. Case 1 calculated I 500 and case 2 calculated I 500 and found out voltage depending upon the voltage source. V4 and V80 and V16 is calculated. Total voltage V is voltage across the 500 ohm resistor, that is V capital V is equal to V80 plus V4 plus V16. V80 is first case we find out 50 volt. V4 is first case circuit we find out 0.5 and V16 is case 2 circuit we find out minus 1 volt. So put minus 1. Total V voltage across the 500 ohm resistor is 49.5 volts. That is superposition is applied. Theorem is applied. Splitting sources only calculated. Not necessary to calculate total source output, because the question only asks voltage across 500 ohm resistor using superposition theorem. Superposition theorem states that the output response produced by a number of sources simultaneously is simply equal to the sum of the responses produced by each of the sources acting separately. Answer is 49.5 volts. Link at Man Engineering Circuit Analysis Subject C1 to 55 class, latest 2026 classes. Current sources open circuit and voltage is short circuit. That is important for circuit calculations. Man engineering, thank you. That is University syllabus and third syllabus consists of superposition theorem.